Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Here we are again, podcast number 4.
We're making progress, aren't we?
Yeah, who knew we would be along this far? 4 shows.
4 shows are up to 14 followers already. I mean, things are just blowing up on our end. It's a beautiful day.
We might have a couple more than that. Hello, welcome. I'm Jim Studebaker.
I'm Todd Robertson.
And, of course, with us as always is our producer, Lisa Gray.
Lisa.
Hello.
All right. So today we have a wonderful topic for you, and it has to do with open houses. Every agent loves to do open houses, right?
Correct. They probably don't. And open houses, everybody knows about them. It's been around forever. A lot of the speakers in the past used to make fun of them. However, if an agent is sitting at their desk or office today, having a cup of coffee, with our strategy on open houses, which is going to give you 2 or 3 slivers, 2 or 3 ways, 2 or 3 campaigns to potentially by the end of that day have a piece of paper signed with a listing in your hand.
That's the goal, because a lot of agents will hold an open house to do what? Just to appease the sellers. They already have that listing, and the sellers are saying, what are you doing to earn your commission?
Exactly.
And so you hold an open house, and it's a dog and pony show, bring people in. Well, that's not the right agent if you want to get a listing. We have a few more ideas for you if you actually want to turn that open house into an avenue to take a listing before the end of the open house.
Correct, because really you have 2 options. If you're an agent listing right now and you're going to do an open house, it's either one, to appease the seller, and you're going to do no marketing, no traffic, or you're going to put into place what we talk about today, knowing that selling that house, 90% of selling that house is price. So if we are going to do an open house, we're going to do it on steroids. We're going to give you 3 ways that you could stir some things up and potentially show up with a listing by the end, right? It's marketing beforehand. Mm-hmm. It's what you do there, and it's what you do after. Yes?
Exactly. So let's start with that first topic, which is driving traffic to your open house. Because if you have the technique to turn an open house visitor into a new listing, you've got to get them into your house. So here are a few ideas to get more people into your open house, more people than you've ever seen before. Number 1, send some automated voicemails to invite people to your open house. Every good agent has a list of their prospects' cell phone numbers. And there are services out there, a few of them are Slide Broadcast, Slide Dial, that will actually leave a message on somebody's cell phone. It won't ring the phone, but it will leave a message there. You pre-record it, upload the list, and then it dials for you. And that's a great way to kind of mass broadcast that your open house is happening. Another great way is to hang door hangers. And while you're hanging door hangers, I remember when I was in real estate, I used to go up to a house. I would hang the door hanger really quickly and silently so nobody would look out the window and open up the door and try to talk to me, and then I'd run off to the next house.
Oh, yeah. It's very similar to when they used to teach door knocking in California. I heard one of our realtors down there, I sold in Bakersfield, one of the realtors said, yeah, we have a program down in LA, it's called Knock and Duck.
Excellent. So that's probably not the right way to do it.
Right.
So while you're out hanging door hangers, promoting your open house, you might actually knock on the door. Somebody might open it, and then you can say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and by the way, I have an open house right down the road here. Perhaps you'd like to visit.
Right.
Third, invite the neighbors. So you could do this in conjunction with your door hangers. Invite them over for a preview of the home. People love sneak previews and special attention. So you can say something like, oh, since you are a neighbor of my new listing here,
right,
come to the open house here half an hour early. And I bet they'll come because they don't want to miss out on something that is special just for them. Of course, you want to invite other brokers. They might actually bring a buyer for the house. And consider shifting the time of your open house to both before and after the main times, which is 1 to 4, something like that on Sundays. Maybe do an early morning, late afternoon during the week. These are techniques that will make your open house stand out from all of the others that are out there.
Correct. And let me elaborate. You brought up a couple of great points. One is that if a realtor is going to do an open house, the mindset should be the following. Number one, I'm going to do an open house on a property priced correctly. Okay, I'm not going to do an open house on an overpriced dog that helps sell other people's houses. Number two is I'm going to market times 500. Why? The average realtor will put that little flip sign up outside the development. They'll put a sign in the yard, 2 balloons, sit there, and it's feel-good work. Honey, what'd you do all day? Oh my gosh, I said on open house. How'd it go? Well, those don't go very well. No, those don't go very well because you didn't do step number one, which is watch, have it on a great artery. Have signs everywhere you can. Do the steps Jim Studebaker just talked about. Why? What's the objective? To stir up leads, to stir up traffic.
Wonderful.
Right?
Yes. So let's say you've mastered those techniques. You've got people coming into the open house now.
Right.
What do you do with them? You don't just have a piece of paper on the kitchen counter, say, here, write your name there. Thanks for viewing.
Correct. One other thought, though, that you mentioned before we get into that is the following. Rather than just have an open house from, let's say, 1 to 4, and you're bored, you're on your computer playing solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
What about, like one of our great agents 6 months ago shared with me a strategy. She said, I was able to do 4 open houses on Sunday. I said, 4 open houses? She said, yeah, at 1, 2, 3, and 4 o'clock.
How'd you do that?
So when people are looking at the newspaper or looking online, it's kind of shock to me. Like, oh, if I'm going to go see that house, I only have 60 minutes here. It was so brilliant because all she did was get a colleague in the office, and they worked together on whatever deal they got, referral or split it. And that realtor would just simply be 10 minutes ahead of them, driving to the next open house, putting the sign in, making it smell good, getting it all ready. 4 open houses in one day. So here you go from agent A does nothing, feel good work. Agent B could possibly, just in the marketing, even before the open house, get someone to say, oh, by the way, what are these houses going for? Because I'd like an open house on mine, but I need to sell my house first before we buy. That could turn into a 3 o'clock in the afternoon listing appointment before the open house. Great. Why don't we make an appointment right now? I have to do the open house. Here's what I'd like you to get ready for me. And I'll see you at 3 o'clock, and we'll see if we can get your house in the market and get you guys moving.
Wonderful idea. It's a great way. Not many people are doing it.
Correct.
If anybody in your market that you are in right now. So give that a shot. So now you've got all of your leads in your open house. How do you turn them into a listing today? Here's a couple great ideas. Number one, run a Facebook live stream from your open house. A lot of agents are taking advantage of technology, Facebook. Do the Facebook Live, video yourself doing a walkthrough of the house and answer questions that people would typically ask while you were walking through the home.
And I have to say to that point, in my news feed, I see a lot of realtors that do that, and it's great. It's very simple. You see their house, you see their excitement. So if you start to see them a few times a week, you're like, wow, these are players, these are shooters.
Right. You become the neighborhood expert of.
Right.
So once your stream is over, post your video onto your Facebook page and boost it up for some traffic. So it's going to cost a couple bucks to do that.
Yep.
But it'll be worth it if it brings a buyer or a new listing your way. Instagram is great. Create an Instagram story and post it on Instagram TV. Do the same thing. Walk through the house. Have it full of people in the house because that will create excitement. If you're going through an empty house, it might not be too exciting. Going through a house where you've got to say, excuse me, pardon me, ma'am. Work your way through the crowd. That's going to be exciting.
Create a little frenzy of supply and demand. Oh my gosh, maybe we should put an offer in real quick.
Yeah. Now, what do we do? There's got to be something better than the legal pad sitting on the kitchen counter with a ballpoint pen, right?
Sure, we have a lot of options there. Bring in as much technology as you can. Have them sign in there if you can. That just shows that you're a realtor up with the times. You want to make them feel very comfortable. Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's a lot of apps you can use for a tablet and an iPad. Some of them include the Open House Wiz and Spacio and Happy Open House. Those are ones that our producer Lisa has come up with.
Yes, I have.
Are they wonderful?
Yes, all wonderful. There's a lot of great options, and now you've got them signing in. It's kind of fun. It's kind of different,
right?
Because they're signing into an iPad.
Okay.
And you've got your ready-made list now that you can compile from this platform that you've just used. It makes it a lot easier than a piece of paper.
Which is great. And what I like about that too is, realtors don't have to be all formal and all crazy. They can make an open house very relaxed, make it very easy. Don't put pressure on that couple coming in or that person coming in. Let them enjoy. But guess what? Ask a couple questions. Great. I noticed you showed up at the open house. Are you currently in the market to buy? Oh, no, we have to sell first. Oh, great. Well, go ahead and take a walk around. So now I know I have a potential listing lead.
Right.
If I'm listening to this podcast, I'm going to take that before the sun goes down in the perfect world. Great. Why don't you go ahead and take a walk around the house? I'll answer any questions you have. And when we come back, let's talk about your house and what your guys' plans are. And let's just see if there's a fit. And if so, I have 3 or 5 o'clock open this afternoon that I could come by for 20 minutes, share with you what me and my company do to get the house sold, just like we're doing now. We don't just take a listing, we sell houses. And they're going to look at how efficiently you run that open house, the technology, the traffic, all the stuff that you've done, and go, wow, I'd like that for me.
Excellent, excellent. Here's a wonderful idea too. Virtually stage the house and email it out to everybody who is there. Because if somebody's looking at multiple open houses, they start going together, mixing up in their heads. What did that house have? So there are apps now that you can take photos of the empty house and virtually put furniture in there.
Right.
And then email that out. You can create a virtual walkthrough of the open house. Have a drawing at the open house. A drawing not of the house, but a drawing to win cash and prizes. Maybe not cash, but you could give away popular smart technology things like the Nest doorbell or an automated smoke detector or something like that people would use. Not something corny, but that is worth something. And if they're in the market for a new house, that's something they could use at their new property.
Exactly. And another piece of leverage that most people don't know is that, you know, the sellers out there, until we educate them, right? So they don't know everything a realtor knows. So sellers think, oh, I'm going to list my property with Lisa. She'll do an open house. My house will sell. Well, a great piece of dialogue or mindset is the following, is that I don't just take a listing for the sake of taking a listing. I take a listing to get that sold for you. So yes, I will do an open house, but here are the criteria. It has to match this price, this cleanliness, boom, 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 needs to be staged. So there's some standards if you want this level of an open house.
Wonderful. And don't forget, you need to have some type of a handout while you're there. Information that people watching an open house, going through it, are going to want to know. Obviously, a property brochure or flyer that includes information on the area, like the school systems, what type of stores, transportation, et cetera, in the area. Homeowners Associations is important because a lot of associations will have monthly fees or annual fees. What are those fees? What do they include? And maybe even have a little treat to go, or a treat while you're there. Good technique. If you've got smelly dogs, you bake some cookies to make the house smell better.
Yeah, healthy treat, no sugar, right? We can't have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, forget the cookies.
Right.
Something else.
Wheat thins, yeah, cheese and crackers, maybe. Yeah.
Cheese and crackers, maybe some tofu.
They'll probably edit this part out. Yeah, we're fine.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate the laugh over there.
Thank you. She gave us a courtesy
Nice.
laugh. Yeah.
And finally, of course, follow up promptly with all of your guests. If you did what we suggested, they all signed in on the iPad, so now you know who they are. You can use the automated dialing system to send out a thank you, send them out a postcard or a personal letter. Make sure you stay in touch with them so they know that you are an active agent, and when they're ready to buy or sell, you are the person to go see.
And not only that, here's the magic. When they go into their own neighborhood, if they live there, and they see the way that you have marketed that property, if they see the way that you've hit with the mailing piece, that you've hit with the door hangers, that you've done these other things that they've talked about, in the back of their mind, they're going to go, wow, this person plays for real. Get her the listings, get her the referrals. This person plays for real. So if a realtor did implement one or all of these strategies today, if open house is in your wheelhouse and you want to do an open house, put an open house on steroids. Why? If you implement some or all of these strategies, you will stir up enough stuff that somebody will say, you know what, we do need to sell our house first, and that will help you take a listing today.
Nice. I don't think there's anything else to even say about open houses.
Boom,
it's done. So if you didn't get everything the first time around, just replay the podcast, right?
Exactly. And remember to leave comments down below and give us also suggestions of what you'd like to hear in the future in terms of taking a listing today and our prospecting methods.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.